Dry January is almost over. Some people do dry February. Marks the end of a health-conscious sort of time for a lot of people after perhaps an indulgent December, etc. What do you recommend for people who have not been drinking for, let's say, a month and thinking, now maybe I'll indulge again?
Well, the very first thing I say to them when they've gone through dry January is I congratulate them because they've just done something that's been really good for their health. Research does show from the UK that if you stop drinking for 1 month, and if you have been a regular drinker, that you lower your blood pressure, you lose weight, you actually have better energy, better sleep, and actually lower your number of cancer-related proteins. And so what I say is hold on to that feeling of better health that you had during that dry January and then carry those healthy habits forward into the rest of the year.
How truthful do you think people are when you ask them, perhaps during a screening of a new patient, are you a drinker? How often? What's your gauge of how truthful they're being?
Well, there is some stigma around alcohol use. So the research tells us that, in fact, about 50% of men have lied to their doctors about their alcohol use, and about 1/3 of women. And so it's important to be truthful with your doctor because there are all kinds of diseases that are linked to overuse of alcohol, like heart disease, like high blood pressure, liver disease, and stomach issues. So what I try to do is I try to weave in questions about alcohol use with other lifestyle questions like diet and sleep and exercise to try to reduce that stigma and get my patients to open up.
Now, there's been some new research that suggests it's not moderate drinking that causes issues. It's the binge drinking that can be harmful. We've heard some concerns about that over the years. With new data out suggesting Canadians limit their intake, do you worry that people will decide more often, instead of doing moderate drinking, that they'll just have a big go on like a weekend or something?
Do you know what's interesting, Dan, is that changes in binge drinking are, in fact, generational. So lower age groups, 54 and under, in fact, are drinking less often and less binge drinking, whereas, in fact, older adults over 54 are either staying steady with that amount or increasing the amount that they drink. And something else interesting is that regular drinking, in fact, does predict binge drinking. So I think, as we see hopefully fewer younger generations drinking, that we'll see the amount of binge drinking drop as well.
Dr. Melissa Lim, we really appreciate your time and your expertise, as always. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Dan.